We get a lot of comments on this channel. Some good, some great, some bad, and then ones like this. So we decided what we were going to do is go through all of the comments, particularly from reform voters, and see what they actually believe and dispel some myths. To do this, we downloaded all of the comments from our top videos over the last 2 months. Now that gave us 2,500 comments to work with, so it's a really decent sized sample. We did a bit of analysis and we started looking for common themes. So this video, or this series of videos, is going to be based on the common themes that have come out of the comments that people who watch these videos actually leave. So this really is fact checking what reform voters believe. So how many of the lies and the half-truths that Farage and his crew tell are actually landing and are actually being believed. So let's get started. So we're starting with part 1, and we've got 3 housing myths: that migrants get priority, asylum seekers get luxury accommodation, and that the government commandeers hotels. So, starting with the first one, migrants get priority. Now, to look at this, we need to look at the Housing Act 1996 section 160ZA and what the eligibility test actually means. So there are legal exclusions. So they are asylum seekers, people on a student or work visa, and people who are not documented, and they will have no recourse to public funds stamped on their visa. So the only people who are eligible to apply are UK and Irish citizens, people with settled status, and people with confirmed refugee status. Now all this does so far, this just gets you on the list. Once you're on the list, we need to look at the local qualifier. Now 90% of councils use a local area qualifier, which usually means you need to have lived in the area for 2 to 5 years, be employed with the area, or have immediate family who've been in the area for 5 years or more. Now as I say, actual policies between councils will vary, but it's important to note that 90% of local authorities follow this very rule. So now we're on the list, let's have a look at how the houses are prioritised. There are 4 bands, with band D being the lowest need, moving up through C, B and towards A, which is the highest need, which usually means there is an immediate risk to life either through domestic abuse or through some sort of health situation that is made worse by the accommodation you're in. So that actually means that the partners of James McMurdoch and Daniel Taylor, the Reform candidates, would be suitable for the highest band. Now do you notice what's missing from this list? And from all of the things that we've discussed so far, there's one important factor that's missing. Yeah, nationality. It's not applicable and it's not covered and it's not considered. So whilst people who do have refugee status can get on the list, it doesn't affect how quickly you progress through that list. Because the way the list actually works is that available houses are advertised and candidates will bid for them. The house will then get assigned to the person with the highest priority who's been on the list for the longest. So you'll see here, nothing here says that if you are an asylum seeker or a refugee, you get any priority over anyone else. So if this is something you've been told, that person was lying. So this myth is well and truly busted. So let's have a look at our second myth, and that is that asylum seekers get luxury accommodation. And I love this one because it's one of the funnier ones. You may have seen lots of outrage about asylum seekers being in 4-star hotels or even 5-star hotels sometimes. And a lot of the people will go on about how these hotels have gyms, they have indoor pools, they have bars, sometimes multiple bars, they'll have restaurants, sometimes multiple restaurants. These things are the height of luxury. You have a concierge in your 4-star hotel, you have luxury bedding and high quality beds. But realistically, that's not how it works. Because by the time the hotel owner has stripped out the concierge, decommissioned the gym, drained the pool, closed the restaurants or converted them to a communal eating area, removed the luxury beds, replaced them with basic ones and added more beds into the individual rooms, Those 4-star luxury rooms look more like this. And that's because a hotel star rating comes not from the building that the hotel is based in, it comes from the facilities that the hotel provides. So you remove the pool, you close the restaurant and turn it into a communal dining area, you remove the concierge, you remove the reception, you take out the luxury beds, replace them with basic ones and fit basic sheets, and then put additional beds in there. As soon as you do that, it's no longer a 4-star hotel. So to say that asylum seekers are living in 4 and 5-star luxury is no more true than to say that the person living in this £3.5 million apartment on the Battersea development is actually living in an active power station. So this is another piece of misinformation, and that myth is busted. So let's look at the last one for this video, and that's that the government commandeers hotels. And I've heard this one a couple of times, that apparently there is a belief that the government goes around just scooping up hotels from wherever they want and wherever they want. Now, anyone that's been anywhere near the HS2 project will know exactly how expensive and complicated compulsory purchase is. So it shouldn't be difficult to believe that that really isn't the truth, and what actually happens is more like this. The government or an agency will identify suitable locations. They will then approach the hotel owner, who will decide if they want to go through a change of use and use it as an asylum hotel. If they agree, the conversion takes place at the hotel owner's expense. Now, quite often these are for older properties, these are for low occupancy properties, and they're for hotel properties that are currently unprofitable, ultimately meaning that this is a financial decision made by the owner, not a decision made by the government. So government commandeering hotels, I'm sorry, but that one's busted too. So I do hope that's useful. Now, we actually identified 5 really common myths from the first analysis of all the comments in our YouTube videos. So we've got 4 more of these deep dives to come. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all in the next one.